Hi everybody, welcome back to the Belton Bond. It is Michelle here and I want to thank you so much for tuning in to another video on our channel. If you are not yet a subscriber, please click the subscribe button so that you never miss an upload. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you now to make sure that you follow us on Facebook and on Instagram at the Belton Bond. So today's video is our last video in the expectations versus reality series that I've been doing. So I hope you guys have been enjoying that. And this video is going to talk about everything after giving birth. So we're just going to talk about what I expected versus what really went down after Scotland was born. So the first thing with giving birth, I expected to be, I guess, pushing and trying to get him out for a long time. And that really wasn't the case, thank God. I remember I started pushing at 9:45 a.m. and Scotland was born at 10:20. So I would push with every contraction, and at one point they had to tell me to kind of stop because he was getting lower and lower and we needed to wait for the doctor to come out. So I didn't really push that long. I've heard some stories where people push like forever and then they ended up having to have a C-section, but after about 35 minutes, Scotland was here. So that was awesome. Also, I expected to be able to nurse him immediately. The hospital that I had Scotland at was like a baby center or like a baby first center where they were really focused on what was better and what was most healthy for the baby. So I expected for him to just like latch on and me to be able to breastfeed immediately. And let me tell you how that was not the case. So after he was born, we had skin to skin. That hospital was really a proponent for skin to skin contact. So they laid him on my chest like immediately and we had our skin to skin, just like bonding time. And then after a while they were like, okay, we're going to try and nurse. Well, it didn't really work out as easily as I saw it in my mind. He wasn't really able to latch on, so they had to call in a lactation consultant. And a little TMI, but he couldn't latch on to my nipple. So what ended up happening was she gave me these plastic nipple shields to kind of help draw the nipple out more. And at first I was like, man, like it was a little, I guess, saddening because I wanted him to just be able to latch naturally. But we did end up having to use the nipple shield. And I used the nipple shield for like the first 6 months of him nursing. After a while, my nipples just kind of, did what they were supposed to do. So now I don't have to use them anymore, but I did end up having to use the shields. But I was actually kind of thankful for it because I could see that like milk was coming out. So I knew that he was getting something. I still couldn't tell how much milk he was getting, but I could tell that he was getting something. And also, it would be helpful now if I still had the shield because he has one tooth and I can see the top of another one and he bites. So having the shield would like protect me a little bit now. Just like if he bites, I tell him no and I take him off for a little while. And then after he's had like a little break, then we'll go back to nursing. But I didn't expect to have to use a nipple shield. And like I said, it was kind of sad, but it wasn't like I had to use it the whole time. Like I said, just the first 6 months. And then kind of he got the hang of latching. And now I don't even use the nipple shield. I actually threw all 3 of them away like yesterday. I think I was going through my stuff. So that's one of the things. After he was born, I expected to be extremely tired from all of the labor, all of the pushing. And I was super duper tired. Like I felt like, I don't know, like you feel like you've been ran over by a truck. You feel like you've run a marathon. Like arms are sore, back is sore, legs are sore, thighs are sore. Like everything is sore after you give birth. So I expected to be tired, and girl, was I tired. Like I was so tired. But as soon as he came out, it was like the biggest relief ever. It's like somebody had popped the balloon and everything was just like, it just like spilled out. I know that may not be like what you want to hear about giving birth, but it did, just like everything just kind of came on out of there. But also I did almost faint in the bathroom. That's how tired I was. And I think it was because, I had been laying in the bed for a while. I had gotten the pain meds, but they kind of wanted me to get up, get moving and everything. So I went to use the bathroom. The bathroom was probably maybe 5 feet away from the bed. So I was able to walk to the bathroom just fine. No problem. The nurse, was kind of holding one side of my arm, use the bathroom. Then I guess I got up too quickly and she could see it in my eyes. She was like, "Are you okay?" And I was just like, Yeah, and she was just like, let's just stay here for a second. And she called my husband in the bathroom. So there was like a handicap rail against the wall of the bathroom. So I was just kind of leaning against the wall, but holding onto that. And I was like, can I lay down? She was like, no, ma'am, you do not need to lay down. So I just kind of, I think I knelt down on the bathroom floor in the hospital, but just kind of knelt down for a while until I could just like get myself together, because I didn't know if I was going to make it or not. I think at that time, my dad was there and he was holding Scotland. So BJ was able to come and help me out. But yes, you will be tired, ladies. So after that, I expected to, be able to bond with Scotland immediately, have that, skin to skin contact. And, I thought our hospital stay was going to be like 2 days we were out. He was born on a Friday morning. So I expected to be out of the hospital like Saturday, Sunday, because we went into the hospital Thursday night. But we did have that immediate skin to skin. We did get to bond, but then they had to whisk my baby away. Like it was maybe 2-3 hours after he was born, maybe not even that long. And they noticed that he was breathing like really, really rapidly. So they were like, baby's breathing a little rapidly. We're going to, check everything out and take him to the nursery. The hospital we were at did not have a NICU unit. They just had a nursery, which was fine. They could do everything that they needed to do for him there. So they actually took him away to the nursery that Friday afternoon, and he stayed in the nursery over 24 hours. They moved me to a mother and baby room later on Friday, and he did not get to come into the room with us until Saturday. I think it was around like 5:30 or something. And of course, I did not expect that at all. Like, I expected everything to go smoothly because my pregnancy, everything had gone so well. Giving birth, everything had gone well. So I'm just like, okay, I got to get the hang of this breastfeeding thing. But they had to take him to the nursery, and he stayed there. And I actually couldn't even nurse him until they got his breathing under control. They were like, I'm sorry, but it's more important for him to be able to breathe correctly right now than for him to eat. So that kind of stalled us breastfeeding, which of course I did not expect to happen at all. So I would have to go like visit him into the nursery. And sometimes I just had to send BJ because I was like, I don't want to see him like that with, tubes and wires everywhere. But it did get better. He came in our room Saturday, and my little 2-day stay that I expected for the hospital ended up being 5 days. So we got to the hospital Thursday night. We did not leave until Monday afternoon sometime, but we were so relieved to be leaving the hospital. But that's pretty much everything that happened after he was born. That was kind of like the easy part. Like everything building up to that was where I guess all the action happened. But after he was born, nursing, skin to skin contact, the nurses at our hospital were so amazing. My mom was even like, this is an amazing hospital. They take such good care. So they really made everything, peaceful and calm, because I was worrying. That's another thing I did not expect. I did not expect to worry so much. Like, I always talk about how I have anxiety issues or I worry about things, but when you have a child, oh my gosh, you worry so much. Like, I didn't think they were going to let me pass my postpartum test, because I cried like the entire time I was in the hospital. I'm like, my baby's not in here with me. He has tubes down his throat, up his nose, stuff monitoring his belly. Like, I cried. Like I said, I think maybe Sunday I didn't cry, or Monday, like one of the days I had no tears, and I was like, okay. But I'd never expected to worry so much. Even now, like worrying with him, like starting to crawl and him standing up by himself, I'm like worried that he's going to hit his head or do something. So that's one thing I didn't expect, but that's like the biggest thing I guess I have experienced since becoming a mom, is just like worrying even more than I worried before. But I do want to leave you guys with a little Michelle's mommy moment. Like I was saying, my pregnancy was like textbook. Everything happened how it was supposed to happen. No major issues were wrong. I did have to see a specialist because the cord attached to the side and not like directly in the middle in my stomach. So they wanted to monitor him and make sure he was growing right. But I just want to, of course, provide just like a little bit of hope, a little bit of just, not really advice, but just like positive vibes. Like, my pregnancy, like I said, was amazing. Nothing went wrong. Giving birth, everything was good. And then just that one thing of having Scotland to go to the nursery didn't put a damper on everything, but it was just like a big blow. But I just want to leave you with, things happen, but if you know God, like, he has it all under control. So I don't want to say that it's human to worry, because in the Bible it says that we shouldn't worry, but you're going to worry. You're going to have anxiety because you had this like precious life that you're now in charge of. But just pray and believe God that once your child is born, you're going to be able to supply him or her with everything that you need. Because at first I was like, I'm not going to be able to breastfeed. I'm going to have to get formula, which is not bad. That just wasn't my preference. Like, I wanted to be able to nurse. But when I tell you, God has worked it all out. So like the word says, be anxious for nothing. With everything, pray, make your prayers and supplications known to God, and give thanks in advance, because let me tell you, he will work it out. Scotland is growing. This boy eats. I make milk. So, you know, everything will work out how you want it to work out. Just like I always say, enjoy the journey and just let it do what it do. Parenthood is amazing. So this is going to be the last video of the expectations versus reality. Leave your expectations versus reality experiences down below, and let's just kind of chat it up in the comment section. So thank you again so much for tuning in to the Belton Bond. Again, please be sure to subscribe, and I hope that you all just remember to be bold, be blessed, and be bonded. Thank you so much for watching the Belton Bond. Bye-bye. See you next time.